This is problem number 10 on the practice problems for quest number 1. Use the graph to answer the questions below. Part A, what is the slope of the graphed line? Okay, so we'll start with the letter that we use for slope, which is m. And one of our formulas for the slope is change in y over change in x. So all we need is to find 2 points that are on this diagonal line, but you also want to make sure you pick points that are on the grid. So for example, this right here would not be a good point to pick because I can't tell what the coordinates are because that point is just floating in the middle of nowhere. It's on the line, but it's not on the grid. So we don't want to pick that. This point, well, it's partially on the grid. I can tell you definitely the y value is 2, but the x value, at best I could estimate it. I really don't want to do that. So you want to pick points that are on the line and on the grid. For example, that point right there is on the diagonal line and it's on the grid. Another point that's on both is there. Another one that's on both is right here. So any of those is good. We're just going to pick a pair of points and then calculate the slope. So I'll pick the top 2 points that are up here. So the first point is 0, 3, and the second point is 1, 1. And we're just going to do the subtraction, change in y, 3 minus 1, over change in x. Make sure you subtract in exactly the same order. For the y's, I did 3 minus 1. I better do the same subtraction order there, 0 minus 1. So we subtract, we get 2 over negative 1, which is negative 2. And that's the answer to this question. Slope is negative 2. If you're comfortable with the idea of slope being rise over run, then you can probably do it without writing down all of those calculations. So if, again, I pick the 2 points that we talked about before. So the rise, we got to go down 2, negative 2. And then the run, we have to go 1 to the right, positive 1. So the slope is still negative 2 over 1. Part B, what is the vertical intercept of the line? Well, it happened that we found it before. The vertical intercept is 0, 3, or just plain 3 if you prefer.